Actor Nicholas Hoult is Superman. No, wait, Lex Luthor. No, wait. He's Brainiac. Well, here we are at Cosmic Book News, and, I'm a couple of days late on this. There's been all kinds of discussion about who's going to be the new Superman and so on and so forth. One of the names that came along was actor Nicholas Hoult. Now, as far as the superhero genre goes, he's probably more known as the Young Beast in the Fox X-Men franchise, and First Class, and Days of Future Past, and all that. The last time hearing his name mentioned was for that he was in the running for the Batman. He lost out to Robert Pattinson. So it stands to reason that he's a guy that Warner Brothers is certainly aware of. And, gee, it didn't work out for Batman, but, we might find something else for you. Well, perhaps DCU will be the deal. So this has to do with scoopers claiming knowledge of this. And so right off the bat, Superman was one character they were looking at him playing, and then Lex Luthor being a possible other, and then now a Brainiac. Brainiac has recently entered the picture as possibly, they're saying, Daniel RPK is claiming it's confirmed that Brainiac is a part of Superman Legacy. Now, right off the bat, this kind of sticks in my craw a bit, because the big hope was that Man of Steel 2 would be a Brainiac story for Henry Cavill's Superman. And there's so many ways it would make sense, and how it could easily be weaved into the results of Justice League, the Zack Snyder Justice League, about Brainiac coming to doomed worlds to steal one of their cities, as he did with Kandor with Krypton. And then Superman has to battle Brainiac and all that stuff, and he has to save Metropolis from him, and he discovers Kandor. All kinds of cool stuff you could do there. But at the end, Brainiac is defeated, he's dying, or what have you. And he's telling Superman, I came here, I was going to save the human race. And he's like, what are you talking about? And it ends on an ominous note where he says, this world's doomed, because he's coming. And with the connection to Justice League, Superman would have a clue as to what he's talking about as he, fades away or whatever. Probably gets downloaded by Luthor for a later movie, but nevertheless, Superman realizes he's talking about Darkseid. And that would be an interesting tease and connection for their overall shared storyline that they could have led into. But that's not the case. So he'll be introduced, apparently, in this story, which is also surprising in the sense that I thought one of the main reasons they were rebooting in this manner was to look for ways to do these on the cheap. So I was looking more at perhaps more of a Clark Kent movie with a few Superman scenes in it. and then you have a few teases about what's to come for their overall franchise. And just, gee, I hope we can come up with something really engaging so people like it, and we'll tune in some more, and it's profitable, and all that. But it's Superman, and it's hard to figure out a way to do that for a motion picture on the cheap. But if Brainiac is the big bad, he really is a big bad, and to just have some guy painted green running around, I've got you now, Superman, and he's gonna have to look something akin to this, and that's gonna cost money, So anyway, some AI art of Nicholas as Brainiac there. Yeah. And I might want to shave the head, Although that does look really creepy. But as far as of the characters he could play, I'm leaning more to villains might suit him better. He does have this kind of intense look there. So maybe not Superman. Lex Luthor, maybe he could do that. I'm not all that familiar with his work. And I don't know, has he ever been in any like horror movies or something like that where he's played a bad guy? And is he good at that? it's interesting that from all accounts, it sounds like they were very serious about pursuing him for Batman, but they went with Pattinson instead. The thing about Batman is that he's this intimidating and intense character, so you could very easily have someone who's good at playing Batman also play a villain, just in the aspect of being scary and intimidating. So maybe that's the deal, but this is all, speculation and rumor and whatnot. But another one is this Jeff Snyder guy from, what is it, the Hot Mic. He said that Bradley Cooper, that's another one that comes up about Lex Luthor, because one of the things about Luthor is I was thinking maybe they would go for someone a little older than Superman. And some of the other guys are all within the same age range as Nicholas here. So that would be pretty much contemporary age thing. But Bradley Cooper would fit that mold if he's like this, already established guy in Metropolis and everything, and then Superman shows up, and, there you go, there's your story. So, I don't know. Gunn did tease that, yes, some of his Guardians cast would be in the DCU and in Superman. So I think he said Superman. Maybe he just meant DCU overall. But so now with Bradley Cooper being teased because he was, the voice of Rocket. Or maybe he's the voice of Crypto. Well, Crypto doesn't have a voice. Alan Moore did a Superman knockoff called Supreme, and his dog could talk. But Crypto doesn't really talk, so, well, I know they'll have a CGI dog in there, but, maybe Bradley is Luthor and Nicholas is Brainiac, so that could be the deal, which again is another, Bradley would have more presence as just playing a normal human being, as well, no, maybe not normal, but a human being nonetheless, as Lex Luthor. Whereas Hoult be mostly a CGI thing. He'll have to wear that mocap suit and all that type of stuff. So maybe that's the deal. And then, of course, maybe this would spill over into the Supergirl story, because a lot of iterations of Supergirl, she witnessed Kandor being stolen by Brainiac, and maybe that would spill over into her film as well. And maybe Brainiac just makes an appearance in the movie and is not the main focus or the villain, and then moves on to be a villain later. Stuff like that, but that's the story in and of itself. So, okay, there's the list of the projects coming in. Okay. Yeah, and I was fine with him being Luthor as well. I just didn't really see him as Superman. But again, if they go, Bradley would be probably better for the role if they're leaning towards the older aspect of him. And then, so that leaves Brainiac, and he might be able to pull that off too. Of course, you have the added advantage of the makeup and mechanical stuff, like an android and all that, and it might work out. As for Superman, the name that keeps coming up, of course, is David Corenswet, which that goes way, way, way back before all this happened, where Corenswet's name did come up as a replacement for Henry Cavill. And, of course, boy, he could play Henry Cavill's little brother. There's a lot of appearance there, which is sad because, oh, look, you could have done a bookend thing where if for your young Superman adventures, it's David Corenswet. For your later Superman adventures, it's Henry Cavill. See, you could have done the compromise. Especially since Kingdom Come keeps coming up as an influence on the direction of this story. Well, that'd be older Superman. Batman's going to have his son already in Batman Brave and the Bold, so it's like, why not just have Superman have a kid as well, and they're of that age, and if we ever find out the real reason why they abandoned the cast, it'll be a while. The idea that it was just a creative decision, I just don't buy that. The only guess is, well, it's the money, I suppose. Those guys were too expensive. This would be cheaper. But then again, Brainiac's going to be expensive. So, yeah. Man, if it's just a case of bruised egos all around, that's just Well, it's pathetic, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not true. Anyway, there we go. Nicholas Hoult might be Brainiac.